today's session, wash, rinse, learn, repeat. Resetting expectations again and again and again. So I thought the song Car Wash was a great segue into this, because kind of like a car wash, where all day long they are washing cars over and over again. Some of the things that we do might have some immediate benefit, but if we're really focusing on the right things in the right way in the right time, they should have a long-term benefit. And that's what today is about. It's about looking at next year, 2024, and resetting some of our own expectations, but doing so with the intent of long-term. Like, what are we trying to accomplish? Not just short-term. But it's why last week I had to start off by saying, hey, let's celebrate a personal achievement or victory this year. Let's celebrate a professional achievement or victory. Then let's ask ourselves, what didn't we accomplish that we still actually want to accomplish? And again, not to beat ourselves up, but to say, hey, sometimes we have to reset those goals, those expectations, those opportunities for achievement for ourselves, because if they're that important, they have long-term benefit for us, right? The more that this comes up on my achievement goals, the more I have to ask, well, why do you keep setting the goal if you either hit it and then go backwards again, or you don't hit it? Now, if we look at professional goals should have some long-term benefit for us as well. So if a professional goal is to get a promotion, or to get that next job, or to complete your MBA, those things aren't just in and of themselves a goal, right? They should have a long-term benefit to your career, to your business, to others. So really actually stopping and saying, okay, what do I want to accomplish? But even more than what I want to accomplish, asking myself and being very clear about why I want to accomplish it. And so the idea back to the car wash, and this idea of wash, rinse, learn, repeat over and over and over again, is for us to recognize a couple of things. Number one, we are human beings. Yep, I know I'd like to be a robot sometimes, but just not going to happen. So if I'm not going to be a robot, and I recognize that I'm a human being, I'm going to recognize, number one, that I'm not going to be perfect. Number two, I'm going to recognize that sometimes it's going to take more than me just saying something to have it manifest. Something about manifesting your dreams by saying them out loud. And so the more you say it out loud, the more they're going to happen, which I actually do believe is true, because if you continue to say things out loud, you have a focus on them. But I also don't believe that just saying it out loud makes something happen. I can't just say every day, I want to make $1 million. I want to make $1 million. I want to have $1 million in my bank account. I want $1 million. If I say that every day, all right, that's great, but I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and have $1 million in my bank account. That's just not realistic. If I'm going to do that, I'm either going to have to work really hard. I'm going to have to buy a lottery ticket every day and do a lot of praying. I might fall into that $1 million accidentally, but probably it's not going to just manifest itself just because I say it out loud. See, the key part of this is I actually have work to do. Now, let's talk about expectations. I'm going to first talk about it from a leadership perspective, because as a leader, resetting expectations often means resetting my expectations with my team. So helping them to know what I expect of them. And so it usually involves conversations, or what we call accountability. Sometimes in leadership, it's also a great reminder that we might think that it only takes one time to tell somebody what to do and have it be done. That one conversation, that one time that we say, here's what I want you to do. And that we think, oh, well, I've said it out loud, therefore it's going to happen. But, unfortunately, that's never the case. We're being tested as leaders in new ways every single day. And not because these things and their impact are wrong or they're bad, but because they require us, get this, to have a change in our mindset. Even for those of us who are really flexible, that we're committed to leading by example, that kind of flexibility is wonderful, but you still can't just rely on that as the ability to be a great leader. There has to be something more. Now, if you're not a leader of people, you still have a lot of work to do, just from a different perspective. So as a leader of people, you have to think about all these things that affect you, your leadership, and your team. As an employee or a team member, you have to put on a different hat and say, what is happening different around me? What am I doing differently? How am I reacting to changes in the world, changes in the workplace? What do I need to accommodate? And even if you are a leader, it's taking off your leadership hat for a moment to say, how is this impacting me as an employee of the company or as a leader of a company, the owner of a company? How am I impacted by all these changes? Because if we don't recognize them, not only are we going to miss out, we're going to lose this incredible opportunity to grow in a completely new way and to grow to make ourselves better, grow to make ourselves more impactful so that we are better leaders, we are better employees, we are better leaders of businesses, but that at the basis of all this, that we understand that our ability to work on ourselves, our choice to work on ourselves, is what will set us apart in the future. Now, let me be really clear. Workplaces, leadership, employees, impact, outcomes are changing. Guess what? They always will. They always will. But we have the greater opportunity now than ever to recognize that that is our competitive advantage. That ability, that choice to say, I'm going to look at what I do, how I do it. I'm going to evaluate it. I'm going to assess it. I'm going to adjust, and then I'm going to continue to do that. That is what makes you different today and tomorrow, and what allows you to have greater success than those around you if you choose to access what I consider a superpower. The ability, the desire, the choice to say, I'm going to continue to work on myself. I'm going to continue to look at new skills to practice. I'm going to practice them, which is the wash. I'm going to evaluate them, which is the rinse. Get the soap out, look at it, to observe them, to learn, and to repeat that process over and over and over again. In that, we can change our own behaviors. We can change our own outcomes. As leaders, we can also change the behaviors in others. Now, get this. I can't change anybody else. Even as a leader, I can't change anybody else. They have to decide to change. I can influence them. I can guide them. I can encourage them. I can yell at them. I can demand it. But all I can really do is be a model. Whether I'm a leader of people or I'm a colleague, I have the choice to model that I am committed to growth and change.